Alright guys, listen up. If you're rocking an old PC or a laptop in 2025 and if you're tired of seeing every new game come with an incredibly high system requirements, this video is absolutely for you. And let's be honest, not everyone has a beast PC or a laptop, and honestly you don't really need one because Steam is packed with some amazing older and newer titles that run perfectly on low-end hardware. And today we are checking out 50 of the best ones to play in 2025 and also moving forward into 2026. So if you have a system with an older CPU, something like an Core i3 4th gen, a 4 gigs of RAM, even 2 gigs of RAM is enough for some of these games, and also an integrated graphic solution, something like an Intel UHD 620, 630, or an older Nvidia card, something like a GTX 650, is enough to run most of these games without any issues. So without wasting any more time guys, let's jump right into it. Alright, none of these games are in any particular order, but I'm starting with the number 50. We got Dead Cells. It's a fast-paced roguelike Metroidvania where you fight through an ever-changing castle with Souls-like combat, dying and learning each attempt until you master its brutal but fair combat. Number 49, we got The Long Dark, a thoughtful first-person survival simulation style of a game set in the frozen Canadian wilderness after a geomagnetic disaster, and throughout the game you have to manage your body temperature, hunger and resources. There is no zombies in the game, it is basically you versus the mother nature. Number 48, we got Broforce, an over-the-top side-scrolling run-and-gun platformer where you play as parody action heroes blasting through destructible environment with excessive force. A fun game to play if you're playing solo or co-op with your friends. Number 47 is LA Noire, an open-world detective action game set in the 1947 Los Angeles where you play as a LAPD detective who uses groundbreaking facial animation technology to integrate suspects, solve crimes and uncover the corruption in the city. Number 46 is Escape Simulator, a first-person puzzle game that brings escape room experience to your PC, letting you explore highly interactable rooms either solo or with your friends on online co-op. Number 45 is Celeste, a 2D precision platformer style of a game following Madeline's journey to climb Celeste Mountain while battling her inner demons. It looks like a pretty simple game, but honestly a very challenging one. Number 44, we got Tiny Glade, a relaxing gridless building game where you doodle charming castles, cottages in this cozy environment. There is no goal or combat in the game, it's just pure creativity. Number 43 is Greenhell, a brutal open world survival simulator set in the deep Amazon rainforest where you have to craft, hunt and manage your physical and mental health while following the story of Jack Higgins searching for his missing wife. Number 42, we got an absolute classic, and that is Portal 2, Valve's acclaimed puzzle platformer sequel where you use a portal gun to solve mind-bending test chambers. Incredibly fun game to play both solo and on co-op. Number 41, we got Buckshot Roulette, a tense psychological horror game where you play Russian roulette with 12-gauge shotgun against the dealer, and rounds usually take around 15 to 20 minutes to complete, and it does support both single player and multiplayer modes. Number 40 is Don't Starve Together, a top-down multiplayer survival game where you gather, craft, build and fight together with your friends to survive in this procedurally generated world full of strange creatures, seasonal bosses and ancient secrets. Number 39 is Brotato, an incredibly fun top-down roguelike shooter where you play as a lone potato surviving wielding up to 6 weapons simultaneously to fight off hordes of aliens while collecting materials and upgrading between rounds. Number 38, we got Neva, an emotional action adventure game following the story of Alba and her wolf companion, with their relationship evolving through stunning handwritten visuals, combat encounters and platforming challenges. Alright, moving on to something totally different. Next up we got Ultrakill. It is a fast-paced retro style first-person shooter fuses classic Quake style shooting with Devil May Cry style combat. You get to play as a blood-full machine descending through hell with movement abilities, weapon variety and a style meter that ranking your carnage. Number 36, we got Mohrta, a linear atmospheric first-person adventure built from the Doom engine where you get to explore this bizarre dimension in any order. You get to battle over 50 unique enemies, 20 bosses and upgrade a diverse arsenal of multifaceted weapons. Number 35, we got one of my favorite, and that is Max Payne 3, Rockstar's cinematic third-person action game where you get to use that signature bullet time mechanics and brutal gunfights while unveiling the dark story of corruption and betrayal. Next up we got Dave the Diver, a casual action adventure RPG blending deep sea exploration in the day and managing a sushi restaurant by night. It features a charming story, quirky characters and an addictive gameplay loop that is incredibly fun to play. Number 33, we got Unravel 2, a beautiful co-op puzzle platformer where you control 2 adorable yarn creatures. The game is playable through solo or switching between characters or with another friend on co-op. Number 32, we got Surrounded, open world zombie survival game set 5 years after an apocalypse virus where you scavenge for weapons, resources, manage vehicles, fight off zombies and hostiles, and ultimately survive in this unforgiving post-apocalyptic world. Number 31, we got Cast and Chill, a cozy, idle and active fishing game with gorgeous pixel art where you gotta explore these serene lakes, rivers and ocean at your own pace. A cool little game and an ideal one to play if you have a Steam Deck. At number 30, we got a popular one, and that is Terraria, a 2D sandbox-style adventure game where you dig through procedurally generated world, craft evolving gear, build settlements, and battle massive bosses. Number 29 is Yakuza 0, a cinematic action-adventure game set in the 1980s Japan, where you play as 2 Yakuza characters. The game got incredible combat, engaging side activities, and a gripping story that is about power and betrayal. Balatro is a game that came out of nowhere and blew up in popularity. It's a very addictive poker-inspired roguelike deck builder where you play illegal poker hands enhanced by 150 unique joker cards with game-changing abilities. Number 27 is a very popular one, and that is Among Us, a multiplayer social deduction party game set in the space where crewmates work together to complete tasks while trying to identify and vote out the hidden imposter. Number 26 is Hollow Knight, a masterfully hand-drawn Metroidvania where you explore this vast interconnected underground kingdom as a silent insectoid warrior. The game got an incredibly tight combat, deep lore, and tons of secret hidden inside this beautiful gothic world. Number 25 is Geometry Dash, a challenging rhythm-based action platformer where you jump, fly and flip a geometric cube through dangerous passages perfectly synced to the soundtracks. Moving on to an awesome action game that I played a long time ago, and that is Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor. The game got a great story, top-tier combat, stealth, and mind-controlling powers that let you dominate enemies' orcs. It's a relatively old game, but still holding up pretty well in 2025. Moving on to our next game, we got Stellaris, a sci-fi grand strategy game where you gotta create your own space-faring civilization, explore these procedurally generated galaxies filled with diverse alien races, colonize new world, forge alliances, and shape your empire's destiny. Number 22, we got GRIS, a breathtakingly beautiful puzzle platformer game with hand-drawn art and evocative soundtrack. And throughout the game, you have to guide this young girl named GRIS through a watercolored world as she deals with her painful emotions. Number 21, we got Chants of Sennaar, an award-winning puzzle adventure game where you gotta observe, listen, and decipher ancient languages to unlock doors, solve puzzles, and restore communication between civilizations. Moving on to a very underrated open world game, and that is Mad Max. This one is an open world vehicular combat action game set in the post-apocalyptic wasteland. You gotta explore this massive open world, scavenging resources to upgrade your car magnum opus, engage in brutal on-foot and high-speed car battles, and fighting to survive against these violent gangs. Number 19 is Untitled Goose Game, a delightful stealth sandbox game where you play as this mischievous goose and doing all kinds of weird things like honking, stealing hats, setting up pranks to generally ruin everybody's day. It's a fun little game you can play both on solo and also on 2-player co-op. Slay the Spire is a genre-defining roguelike deck builder where you climb a procedurally generated spire by crafting unique deck from hundreds of cards. It's a pretty popular game to jump in right now if you're into strategy style of games. Number 17 is Kenshi, a very underrated open-world squad-based RPG set in a brutal post-apocalyptic desert where you get to build your own story as a trader, thief, warrior, or a slave, managing realistic injuries, building bases, and surviving these harsh conditions. Number 16, we got Cuphead, a brutally challenging run-and-gun action game inspired from 1930s cartoons, featuring hand-drawn cell animation, watercolor background, and original jazz recordings. It honestly looks very simple, but an extremely challenging game with tons of platforming and punishing boss fights. Number 15 is Halo: The Master Chief Collection, the definitive Halo experience bundling 6 iconic Halo games, totaling 67 campaign missions, over 120 multiplayer maps, and optimized for PC with customizable controls. Number 14, we got Absolum, a roguelike beat-em-up style of a game blending Hades-style run-based progression with classic arcade brawler combat. It's a pretty new game on Steam and very popular at the moment, having overwhelmingly positive reviews. Number 13 is Rain World, an unforgiving survival platformer where you play as a vulnerable slug cat navigating a sprawling post-apocalyptic ecosystem. And number 12, we got Hades, a masterful roguelike dungeon crawler where you hack and slash your way through Greek underworld as Son of Hades. It got fluid action combat, compelling narrative, stunning hand-painted art, and an incredible soundtrack to go with it. And number 11, we got Shinobi, Art of Vengeance, a 2D action platformer featuring precise ninja combat with kunais and katanas, a unique hand-drawn visuals, challenging levels, and return of a classic Shinobi-style gameplay. Alright, moving on to top 10 games, starting with Half-Life 2. It's a revolutionary first-person shooter where you play as the scientist Gordon Freeman, leading a desperate human resistance against alien combined occupation. It got groundbreaking physics-based gameplay, iconic gravity gun, immersive environmental storytelling, and still one of the best games you can play in 2025. Number 9 is Astroneer, a colorful third-person space exploration game set in the 25th century where you play as an astroneer. Throughout the game, you are using this powerful terrain modding tool to dig, build, and shape the planet, gather resources, craft bases. Fun game to play on both solo and 2 to 4 player co-op. Number 8 is Dredge, a single-player fishing adventure game with an extremely unique art style, and throughout the game you can catch over 125 plus fish species, upgrade your boat, and dredging for long buried secrets. Another great game to play if you have a Steam Deck. Vampire Survivors is an incredibly popular roguelike auto shooter where you mow down thousands of night creatures with automatic attacking weapons, snowballing through upgrades and combinations to survive waves until dawn. Number 6, we got Project Zomboid, extremely unique open-ended isometric zombie survival sandbox where you got to loot houses, build defenses, farm, fish, and manage realistic needs. Pretty popular game that supports multiplayer as well as local 4-player co-op. Moving on to number 5, we got Subnautica, an underwater survival adventure game where you crash land on an alien ocean planet. You got a massive underwater world to explore, also gather resources, craft equipments, build bases, pilot submarines, and unravel the mystery of what happened to this world. Number 4 is an incredibly popular game, and that is Stardew Valley, an open-ended RPG game where you inherit your grandfather's overgrown farm, then transform it into a thriving homestead by growing crops, raising animals, fishing, and of course building relationships. Number 3 is Animal Well, a pixel art Metroidvania puzzle platformer game where you control a mysterious blob creature exploring this interconnected underground world filled with beautiful and unsettling creatures. Number 2, we got an awesome game that's getting more and more popular these days, and that is Megabonk. It's a chaotic 3D roguelike auto shooter that fuses Vampire Survivors with Risk of Rain 2. There are so many upgrades to collect, so many weapons to master, and so much fun to play. Alright, moving on to number 1 spot, we got one of the most recently released titles, and that is Hollow Knight Silksong, an epic sequel to the previous Hollow Knight. In this game, you play as this lethal hunter hornet ascending through the fallen kingdom of Paralum. Throughout the game, you gotta battle over 200 ferocious foes, craft powerful weapons and traps, solve shocking quests in this beautifully hand-drawn world. And there you have it guys, 50 incredible Steam games you can play on your low-end PC or laptop, and these games prove that you don't really need to have a high-end system to have an amazing gaming experience in 2025. And if this video helped you to discover your next favorite game, smash that like button, subscribe, and stay tuned for more free-to-play plus low-end gaming content like this. I'll catch you guys soon in the next one. Stay safe.